I made a video similar to this in structure and tone a while ago about Fundy, another Minecraft content creator, and it seems at this point it's likely a pattern with Minecraft content creators making apologies for things that they really shouldn't be making apologies for because they bend the knee to their fans in every situation. Today we'll be discussing how Wilbur Soot decided to allow himself to be cancelled over something that wasn't even a problem in the first place, and how much he's bending the knee to his audience to the point that he's practically not even allowed to live his own life in any way he wants without getting backlash online and possibly trending on Twitter. And I know a lot of people will argue that that's basically the same for every content creator that makes a mistake, but I'd argue it's absolutely nothing close to how serious the Minecraft stans are about getting mad over anything. How often do you see any other content creator trending for shit like what the Minecraft YouTubers get cancelled for? Like when aforementioned Fundy got cancelled for dead naming himself when he's not even trans because people took his Minecraft character to be trans. The stans will literally decide how these people should live their lives, dictate what those people did, and tell them they should apologize whether they're in the wrong or not, while simultaneously this fanbase will harass basically anyone that's made any minor mistake that refuses to apologize. Like how people are now censoring Technoblade's name because he made a lesbian joke years ago. Don't even get me started on the fact that a young 17-year-old, not even an adult, Tommy Innit, was harassed to the point of therapy because he made a tweet about J-Schlatt being friends of his. And obviously it's not his fault. Firstly, you're allowed to be friends with whoever you want, but the Minecraft fanbase is actually at a point where they will spam Tommy Neg, meaning Tommy Negative, telling him to literally take his own life because he was friends with J-Schlatt, to the extent where this kid had to go to therapy. If nothing else, I hope all of those examples have highlighted how dangerous this community can be, and how when content creators give this audience the power, they're able to control every part of your life. In contrast to some of the many other content creators that allow their audience to trample all over them in the Minecraft community, Tommy is one of the few that doesn't let his audience control him, dictates who he's friends with, and says whatever he thinks is on his mind. And unlike any other community on YouTube, this community of toxic kids harass him for it. But before I begin and delve into the full situation, if you are new to the channel, I would appreciate if you could consider subscribing. I make videos every single day at 6 PM GMT, 1 PM EST, and I'm aiming for 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and that goal is only attainable with your support. Don't get me wrong, you don't have to agree with me with everything I say in these videos, but I make videos on very serious topics, and I feel like you'll probably enjoy one or two of the videos at least, so I'd ask you consider supporting me. You can also check out my Twitter down below if you'd like to support me on that platform. I share my opinions on more topics more loosely because these videos are all scripted, and feel free to check out platforms like my Discord down below if you'd like to have more conversations with me and my community, or if you'd like to support me financially, feel free to check out my Patreon down below. Thanks for the recent support, and don't think I'm bashing any community or anybody in particular with this video. I'm simply giving a critical analysis of my opinion on the situation, and I'm not only saying that because I'm expecting a lot of quote retweets about this video being made and comments telling me to take my own life, similar to many other content creators sadly have experienced in this situation for no fucking reason, but also because it's genuinely true. I want you to make your own opinions from this situation and the evidence I present. With that being said, with credit to BoBlacks, I'll play you a few clips that represent the whole situation and explain it briefly to you.
So a UK Twitch streamer known as GeeNelly recently had her 26th birthday, and for her birthday she threw a party at the bowling alley and invited a lot of her YouTuber friends. Now you may be thinking, what group of people are ridiculous enough to cause a stink about a birthday party? Well, of course, it's the Minecraft YouTube stan community. As usual, one of them made a huge Twitter thread updating us on the situation and why it's problematic. This stan goes by Miss Feral Woman, and she says, "A thread for everyone waking up to the mess of Minecraft YouTube Twitter. Retweet to help?" GeeNelly hosted her 26th birthday party with a ton of content creators, like Jack Manifold, Nikki Nachu, Puffy, Minx, Wilbur Scott, James Marriott, etc. Also possibly George not found in the back of this photo. People are upset with this because there aren't any masks present, and Corona is still a very big deal, but the CCs kept posting about it like it's nothing. There were videos posted too. This caused Twitter to explode with opinions about this. Wilbur Soot ended up streaming and he ignored the whole entire topic. People say he was used as damage control, who knows. This made people even more angry. Wilbur's mods banned words like party and masks in his chat. Also, the mask profile pic started as a joke, I believe. Dream ended up joining VC on Krinios' stream, and stated that Bad Boy Halo, Carl, Quackity, George, and Sapnap were all in a separate call. I think. I wasn't there when he said that. And Dream left soon after without reason.
Now, I 100% agree with the idea that people should be held accountable if they're breaking COVID guidelines and putting themselves and other people in dangerous situations without taking the valid precautions to look after everyone. I also 100% agree with the idea that people should validly have concerns in this type of situation. And I sympathize with the people that got upset when many of the content creators involved did not recognize the situation and played it off as jokes without addressing the actual health and safety behind the scenes. obviously content creators aren't obligated to share every part of their life to the public. But when something like this becomes public, it makes sense that content creators should address it and explain themselves. But when I saw Minecraft stands harassing them, telling them to choke on glass, shit like that, simply because they hadn't responded yet without even hearing their side, I knew there was no talking to the other party in this situation. Which is why I made a tweet replying to one of the content creators in particular in this situation that was talking about this situation and getting harassed, saying that these Minecraft stands are acting like they know if anybody at the party even had COVID, took tests, or were vaccinated, and harassing people based on that assumption. To which initially this tweet was received quite mixed, with a lot of people quote retweeting it and not a lot of people supporting the tweet, which at one point I think I was being ratioed with. But that all turned around very quickly, and my tweet then garnered over almost 300 likes, when GeeNelly, the person who started the party, came out with a public statement that reads the following.
I genuinely never want to upset or harm people, and I'm sorry I have done that. Please know that everything at my party was within UK government guidelines. We are fortunate enough that 80% of the UK is currently vaccinated. We are also very fortunate to be able to test daily here in the UK, with people attending completing a negative lateral flow test beforehand, and everyone will be testing after. It was a private small bowling alley of close friends with no public interaction to ensure we were as safe as possible. Again, I'm sorry for upsetting anyone. Also, if I can ask one thing, like, I don't mind you not liking me or being angry at me, but please don't tag me in suicide jokes. I lost my dad to suicide, and that's something really triggering for me, so please stop.
As this party took place in the UK, not only did G's party fall completely within the guidelines put in place, and as such it was perfectly legal, but also as everybody at the party took tests before and after, and nobody had COVID at the time of the party, with, as far as I'm aware, everybody or most people there being fully vaccinated, and let alone for a birthday party, nobody in the party did any wrong, and I don't believe anybody at that party should be harassed for anything that happened. They're allowed to live their lives, and they're within their right to have a party in this type of situation. And the fact that people were literally sending G suicide jokes or suicide messages because of this situation is fucking ridiculous. G had a birthday party that was legal and morally okay, and people harassed them for it based on assumptions. With that prefix out of the way, you'd presume that most people at the party weren't going to make an apology for this situation, as they hadn't really done anything wrong. Like, it was directly noted that PikaClick, someone who's severely immunocompromised, and as such it would benefit them to be very up to date on this situation, that even the CDC says outright that wearing a mask or vaccinated is unnecessary, let alone with a confirmed negative test. But all these Minecraft stans want to play hero because they saw people without a mask, and they presume that without a mask you're a criminal, without considering that there's other factors that take place. Here's some advice for you Minecraft stans: don't harass people without even getting to hear their side, especially in situations that had such inconclusive evidence as this one. Firstly, you could very obviously harass someone that's an innocent party in this situation, but also you just make it clear that you want something to be mad at and don't actually care about these real issues. Like, why were people going after content creators for throwing a private party, but not the events that are opening up with tens of thousands of people going to them? It's people picking and choosing their arguments because they want to cancel their favorite content creators again, because they want more and more control over these content creators, because they feel like it's their right as a fan to dictate how this content creator lives their life. Even Dream, my best friend in the world who follows me on Twitter and is known by the Minecraft stans as the masked up COVID god, responded to the situation saying that although there is some potential misinformation that he wanted to clear up about the situation, Dream agrees that if everyone was tested before and after, like G said, there is no problem, and it was a very responsible way of doing this with very little to no risk. So as I said, you'd presume nobody would apologize about this situation. I wish it was that simple.
So I went to a party a couple days ago with a large group of YouTubers and streamers. It's my first party since every lockdown restriction has been lifted in the UK. It's been actually a month. I think it was July 21st everything was lifted, so it's just over a month now. And at that party, a photo was circulated of me not wearing a mask while stood at the bar. Now, people are concerned, and rightfully so, they should be concerned about this, and I'd like to apologise if I set a bad example for people on the internet. I understand that restrictions aren't the same everywhere, and I understand that seeing a large-ish content creator not wearing a mask can be really irresponsible. And I actually took off the mask at this bar to enable me to take a drink. And I understand I should have put it around my neck, or at least, put it on between sips, which I didn't do. And I understand that was wrong, and that's something I'm going to work on for the future.
This response, for a lack of better words, is a soggy, slimy pile of shit. and I have no idea why Wilbur ever posted about it. To address his points in as chronological order as I can put this bullshit together, he's apologizing at the start because in other countries there are different restrictions than in the UK. But he doesn't live in other countries, he's not responsible for what happens in them. Just because he's a content creator doesn't mean that he's required to follow circumstantial, location-based laws in a completely different country across the globe. And the fact he ever decided to even mention that makes me feel like this apology isn't even worth making. He then continues it by explaining the fact that he actually was wearing a mask at that party, but he took it down for only a few seconds so that he could have a sip of his drink. Which is normal, how else is he gonna drink it? Through the fucking mask? But also, he mentions that he should have put it around his neck, which is actually not even the thing you're supposed to do in this situation. It was noted by the government that you should avoid wearing a face mask on your neck or forehead, and also you should avoid touching the part of the face covering in contact with your mouth and nose as it could be contaminated with the virus. Furthermore, it was noted by the CDC that infectious disease experts say that it not only makes face coverings useless in preventing the spread of COVID-19, but it also poses a risk of contamination. But even then, that doesn't take away from the fact he's literally apologizing for taking his mask off to have a sip of a drink. Remind me why anybody cares or needs this apology. He literally did absolutely nothing wrong. And the fact he says he recognizes what he did wrong and he's gonna work on it for the future is so spineless. It's so clearly bullshit because he didn't do anything wrong. But I guess he's gonna work on it for the future, whatever that spewing of nonsense even means. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Wilbur, I love a lot of his content from back in the Soot House days, and I love his music too, but come on dude, this response was spineless, unnecessary, and factually incorrect to what you're actually supposed to do in these situations. I'll be honest, he made every mistake he could have made in this response. Though I do want to be fair here and mention something I also mentioned on Twitter. As I can personally attest, when you're put in a situation with this much spotlight and you have so much drama and heat around you, it's very easy to make impulsive responses because you want the hate to disappear, or because you want to clear your name, and in those moments you can say shit you don't mean, and bend over backwards in ways you never wanted to. I'll presume this situation, as it's one of Wilbur's first big controversies, is probably a similar case to that, and I hope he considers this situation thoroughly and learns how to approach these situations in the future. Having this much spotlight on you is not healthy, and that's why I started this video by highlighting how toxic the fanbase around him is. I wanted to put emphasis on the very possible reality that the fanbase has harassed him to the point where he made this response out of fear for his safety, or because he simply wanted the harassment to stop. I get that, he's in a very hateful community and I understand why you would want to be careful about what you say and protect your name by any means necessary, if it means you don't get spammed with death threats. And realistically, this situation isn't the biggest thing and it won't really drag along after his reputation, but I felt it was important to use as an example of how content creators let their fans walk over them and how fans can be so toxic towards content creators that content creators feel a need to make impulsive responses like this. But with that being said, I'm gonna end this video here. I believe this video has presented all of my points against and for Wilbur Soot's defense, while bringing attention to a very toxic fanbase, providing helpful advice for content creators, and criticizing someone on their response to backlash. I hope this video has made you more aware on the situation, and I hope you've taken your own opinions and formulated them based on what I've had to say. That being said, I'll see you next time, as I really don't have much more to say today, but I do appreciate you popping around just to watch this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Feel free to leave a like or dislike, no matter how you feel, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to help me get 50k by the end of the year. I'll see you in the next video uploaded to this godforsaken channel. See you later, peace.
Said she wanna rock with a nigga like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with a nigga like me. We can catch a fly. Said she wanna rock with a nigga like me.